Okay, so we had our day, we had our conflict, we had our disagreements, we had whatever went on between us in a couple relationship, or even if it's just in a relationship trying to become a relationship. Let's say you're dating, and boy, oh boy, you know, if there's any time that everybody feels really awkward, it's when you're dating. It's one of the reasons people want to get over to dating and they want to get into an actual couple relationship because, dating is just enormously awkward, I mean, there are people, of course, that's all they want to do. They want to date because they need to live in a kind of superficial thing, but there are other people that would like to sort of find, And one of the ways you can study this is you go to these romantic websites, for example, find a partner website, and you read the profiles by the women. And what do the women say? Well, they always say the same thing. I'm looking for the one. Now, they have this idea, and when I was first getting into psychology, this idea was talked about sort of in the sense of, I don't know, the story of the princess. The princess is going to find the prince. And little girls get raised in this, and they go into the world, and they think they're going to find the prince. And of course, that's when the romantic comedies in too. You go to the romantic comedies, and eventually the girl finds the right guy. And of course, in real life, things don't happen like that at all. But it doesn't mean they don't want to find the right guy. And so you go to the dating website, and what's up there? Well, I want to find the one. And then they list the things that they like, the things that they like to do. And the guy comes along, and he's not really interested in finding the one. He just wants to get laid, but he'll go play the game, and then they'll meet, and And I'm not saying that the guy isn't really interested. I'm just saying that you could do which I've done. You can do an interesting kind of study in a way by just going to porn sites, which are more for men than they are for women, although there is an interest in women in actual erotica. They don't particularly much go for porn. They want actual erotica because the instinct is that they know that they get warmed up from the inside out, and that requires that erotica be something a little bit different than porn. Okay? But anyway, you have these dating sites, single meetup things, and a bar is just a single meetup thing in a lot of instances. And then you have these porn sites. Now, why should a woman, and I'm actually recommending this, I recommend this to married women and to single women, that they go to porn sites. I'll name one. There's thousands of them. This is called X Hamsters, I think. And I don't particularly want you to watch the porn. I want you to look at the left column, and the left column lists different kinds of things. Let me get it up here, because I did a lot of research, and there are times, I'll confess, that I've been interested in porn myself. But here we go. I want to read you this thing, because understanding it is going to tell us something. So they on the list on the side called channels. I'm going to read them. Amateur, anal, Asian, babes, BBW, BDSM, beach, bisexuals, black anemone, blondes, blowjobs, brunettes, busty, cartoons, celebrities, close-ups, cream pies, cum shots, facials, femdom, flashing, funny, fingering, group sex, hairy, handjobs, hardcore, hidden cams, interracial, Latin, lesbians, men, masturbation, matures, MILFs, young, old and young, porn stars, POV, public nudity, redheads, sex toys, she-mates, showers, stockings, squirting, teens, upskirts, vintage, voyeur webcams. Now, first of all, from that you can get the sense that there's a lot of different tastes in porn. Okay? And the other thing one needs to realize is porn isn't actually about porn. Okay? You have to step back from it a little. Porn on the internet is about commerce. And if you have an internet website that's putting porn up, you're not doing it because you want to titillate people. You do it because you want to make money. And the people putting these sites together recognize that they have to serve customers. And they have to try to understand what their customers want. And of course, what are they delivering in a porn site? Well, they're delivering sort of two things. Remember, we've talked about senses and sensuality, and there's like 5 basic senses. There's more senses than that, but that's sort of a technical problem in a way for deeper spiritual psychology. But anyway, there's on porn sites, all you can really get is what you can see and what you hear, right? You can't smell, you can't taste, and you can't feel porn or erotica. So only 2 senses get touched. And of course, women who want to get warmed up from the inside, that hardly gets to them. Probably the only way is sort of, you might say, that the drama of women's porn creates an emotional component. So if women can watch erotica, let's not call it porn now, with an emotional component so that they can feel. And of course, this is one of the things women hate about men's porn is because there's no feelings. All right? And of course, feelings are in the soul. Okay, so one can look at a porn website and do a kind of reverse engineering of certain things about men and be not judgmental about it, but understand something. Try to understand why it is that the person who's creating the porn website, his interest is in commerce. He's delivering a product. He's tried to understand to some degree what men want, and he's going to try to give it. And of course, not everybody that goes to the porn site is actually a man in the mature sense. Remember what we've talked about, boys with toys. So a lot of internet erotica is for boys. Okay? I can remember when I was a teenager, the first time somebody started handing around at our school something that was porn-like, that described sex. It was a typed sheet, 2 or 3 pages on legal paper, all folded up and secretly passed around, and we went outside and we looked at it and then shared it with another guy. And nowadays teenagers, there's almost no restraint whatsoever on their ability to get to this stuff, and people with some degree of justification are rightly horrified. But as I've said earlier, this really has to do with fallen Eros and the end of Western civilization. And we shouldn't be surprised that things are taking the course that we're taking. And that's why we're doing the redemption of Eros, because we want to lift it back up. But you can't do it by laws. You can't go out and make a law any more than you can make a law saying not to be a racist. You can't make a law that commands people to be in a certain way in their sexual and erotic life.